Hello and welcome to another installment of the Cape May County Library's reading recommendation videos. I'm your host Natalie. Every week we're going to be posting videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'm going to be recommending 3 titles in each video. I'm choosing from a selection of fiction and nonfiction. I'm trying to pick from a variety of genres, so hopefully every video will have something for everyone. All of these titles are available on Libby or Hoopla, which are our digital platforms, so you can get ebooks and e-audiobooks from the library. I'll have information at the end of the video on how you can access those things, and hopefully everyone will find something to read and we can catch up on some fun reading while we're all staying at home. So let's get started. My first recommendation in this video is In the Woods by Tana French. This is available on Libby in text. This is the first in a loose series of books about the Dublin Murder Squad. So these are detectives that work out of Dublin and investigate murders that happen in Ireland. This has also been adapted into a show on, just checking my notes on the back, on Stars, and it's called The Dublin Murders. So in this book, Detective Rob Ryan and his partner Cassie Maddox are investigating the murder of a 12-year-old girl. She was found in the woods near a suburban development, and this was the same woods that Detective Ryan had been found in when he was a child. He and I believe it was his brother or one of his friends, they were found in the woods. Their shoes were filled with blood. This is a pretty intense murder mystery book. And Detective Ryan, he was found when he was a kid in these woods and doesn't remember anything that happened that afternoon, and he's always kind of kept it to himself. His partner Cassie doesn't know about this history, so they're called out to investigate this murder, and Rob Ryan is hoping to discover a little bit, maybe more about something that happened to him when he was a kid while they're investigating. It's a longer book. They're very dark and atmospheric and tense. If you're looking for something really gritty and a murder mystery book, I highly recommend these. We have several of the books in the series. The second book does also have Cassie. I'm not sure if Rob is in it as well. And then the third and subsequent books have different detectives that are kind of tangentially mentioned in these books. So you don't necessarily have to read them in order if In the Woods is not available. The second book, The Likeness, definitely follows right after this one. I really enjoyed these. I like some dark, gritty murder mysteries. So if that's your thing or you want to try one out, this is Tana French, and In the Woods is her first one. Okay, so my next recommendation, we're going to go for something a little more light and humorous, still fiction, is The Martian by Andy Weir. This was turned into a movie several years ago with Matt Damon. This is available on Libby in text. I really enjoyed this. So the main character is an astronaut. His name is Mark Watney. He was accidentally left on Mars. A crew had landed on Mars. They'd set up a facility there, and they needed to evacuate because there was going to be a really big storm and probably destroy the facility, and they needed to get out, and they were going to go home. So Mark was accidentally left behind while they were evacuating. They thought that they had lost him and the captain made the decision they didn't have time to go back and see if he was okay. They needed to rescue as many people as possible. So he has been left on Mars, and he's trying to figure out how to survive, how to communicate with Earth, that he is still here, if they're able to rescue him, or what. So it's very interesting. He's a great narrator. It's all told from his perspective. He's like making logs. He's recording himself and making kind of journal logs in case people find him. So he's recording what's happening. He uses a lot of profanity, so if you're not a fan of that, I would not recommend this book. He curses in like the very first sentence, but I found his narration very funny. He seems it's like a normal person, but he's very intelligent. He is an astronaut and a scientist. So he needs to use all of his scientific knowledge and figure out how to survive. So he's coming up with all kinds of ways to repurpose the technology that was left behind, and make food, figure out how to have breathable air, and eventually potentially move to another location so he can figure out a way to get rescued. It was very interesting. I think he has a great voice, and if you're looking for something kind of fun and a little bit lighthearted, there's some tension on whether or not he's going to be rescued. I would highly recommend this. That is The Martian by Andy Weir. Okay, so my final recommendation, I don't always have the physical books when I'm recommending things, so sometimes I make the book covers. So this is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This is available on Libby in text and audio. This is a memoir. It was made into a movie starring Reese Witherspoon. A lot of things I recommend have been turned into movies or TV shows. Not doing that on purpose. But if you did enjoy the movie, you might want to check out the book. If you've never heard of it, check out the book. Again, it's on Libby in text and audio. So the author, Cheryl Strayed, when she was in her early 20s, her mother passed away, and her marriage wound up falling apart over several years after that. And she was kind of at loose ends and not really sure what to do with her life. And she decided that she was going to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, which starts in the Mojave Desert in California and goes all the way up the coast into Oregon and Washington State. So she decides to do this as kind of a cathartic, kind of coming to terms with herself. It's a bit of a survivalist book. It's a self-help book. It's like a transformative narrative, finding yourself and what's important in your life. During these times, if you're trying to think, again, I recommended a self-help book in another video. If you're trying to think a little differently or want to connect with someone, another real person, and read a memoir of someone who was able to survive and, come to terms with themselves, I would highly recommend this. I also read, unfortunately we don't have it, but she had published a book of essays. She used to write a self-help blog where people would write to her. It was called Dear Sugar. And she offers some really great advice, sweet and poignant and realistic. So her memoir is very similar. She has a great voice, and I think you guys would enjoy it. So that is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. And those are my recommendations. So in order to get these books digitally, you will need your library card. So if you don't have a library card, we are more than happy to give you a library card during this time. You can go to our website at cmclibrary.org and click on Get a Library Card right on the front page there. We're going to need some information about you, and please include an email address. And one of our staff members will get back to you with your library card. If you had a library card, you've lost your library card, you're not sure if you've ever had a library card, you can email us at reference@cmclibrary.org. Another staff member will get back to you with information about your library card. If you're looking for further recommendations beyond the books that I've recommended in these videos, you can go to our website again, click on the menu, go to Help and Recommendations, and on the Recommendations page, there's a bunch of links for other resources that will help you find some fun stuff to read. There's also a form that you can fill out with things that you have liked in the past, and one of our staff members will create a personalized recommendation list for you. So you can get some more books that will hopefully be right up your alley. And if you're looking to find these items digitally, you can go to our website, again, cmclibrary.org, click on the menu, go to Borrow, and if you go to the ebooks page, there will be links to Libby and Hoopla. We have some instructions available on our social media on how to use Libby. Libby and Hoopla are really easy apps. You can download them on any device and start reading and listening to stuff right away. So those are my recommendations for this week. We hope to see you guys again soon. We miss everyone, and we are looking forward to, being able to reopen in the future. Stay tuned for more things on our social media on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be posting these videos and other videos as we're going forward. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.